shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. We shine, shine, we shine, shine, we shine, shine, we shine, shine, we shine, we shine, shine, we shine, shine, we shine.
Welcome to the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Nestled between the Inner Harbor in Baltimore and the National Harbor just south of the nation's capital, the suburban city of Columbia offers easy access to both, where you find no shortage of activities, entertainment, and sightseeing. With a population of approximately 104,000 inhabitants, this thriving, diverse, planned community, developed by James Rouse, was established in 1967 with the goal of enhancing the lives of its residents. Columbia boasts good schools, fine restaurants, private homes, condos, and apartments, hiking trails, music venues, malls, and local shops. Founded in 1983, the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, also known as CCSL, currently conducts services at the Hawthorne Center in Columbia and has done so since December 1984. Who are we and who are we looking for? We are a collaborative, supportive, loving, and fun-loving community welcoming all who join us. We take pride in the programs we offer and the events we hold. One of our greatest needs now is to rebuild our community into a thriving spiritual home that realizes our full potential. We know that the perfect minister is awaiting our call. Our new minister is creative, collaborative, welcoming, enthusiastic, embodies inclusivity, fosters open and healthy dialogue, embraces and empowers shared leadership, and is committed to pastoral care. Our aspirations are growing our presence in the community at large, as well as within CSL, developing a broader equity and inclusion focus, increasing volunteerism, rebuilding thriving youth and teen programs, creating a community abundant in membership and resources. We also are committed to continuing and enhancing existing programs, such as the Women's Group, the Bookstore, SOM Magazine Group, SOM accredited classes, workshop offerings, free or low-cost foundation classes, and our annual volunteer event, Thanksgivingness.
Oh, good morning and welcome to our Sunday celebration. Boy, we hope we're having a wonderful October so far. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day here in Central Maryland. Welcome to all of you near and far who are joining us for this wonderful celebration and coming together. My name is Julia Mattis, and I am the president of the Board of Trustees and a licensed practitioner here at the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. And my pronouns are she, her, and hers. Before we start this fabulous service today, we would greatly appreciate it if you would share this live stream for those of you that are on Facebook to help us spread our message of love and joy and peace and oneness. I'll pause for you to do that now. And as you know the drill, down in the corner, push that arrow and send it out into the universe. Ah, wonderful. Thank you. As we open our service, we acknowledge that here in Howard County, we are on the unceded traditional lands of the Piscataway tribe of the Algonquin. We honor the Piscataway community, their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. Here at Columbia CSL, our vision to contribute to a world that works for everyone is realized through our mission. We are a diverse community of belonging and growth, and we share the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. And our other mission is to illuminate the spiritual truth that we belong to each other, calls for us to be inclusive and to celebrate and embrace our unique identities, ability status, age, ethnicity, gender identity, national origin, physical characteristics, that's easy for you to say, race, religion, and sexual orientation. Okay, and now let us begin our time of spiritual togetherness today. I invite you to start by setting an intention. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to sink into the feeling of that intention right now, as you open to receive Spirit's guidance throughout our time together this morning and going forward. And for those of you on Facebook, please feel free to share your intentions in the chat so that we can support you in knowing the truth. We have a saying here at CSL, singing or listening to music is like praying twice. So we begin each service with a song. And this week, we're so blessed to have our good friend Jamie Lula back. He is an accomplished musician, songwriter, vocalist, international recording artist, well beloved in our centers and beyond. And Jamie will be one of the artists performing at our big Feed the Hungry virtual concert and fundraiser on Friday, October the 28th. Please help me welcome Jamie Lula.
Here's a Floyd Lula song called Reflecting Me. Made mistakes, true, the ignorance of youth. I dropped a bomb or two, I drank a bitter brew. I've seen what I've been told, 'cause I've been bought and sold. But I'm worth more than gold. It's time to break the mold. A flower never fails to make me breathe. A river's always seeking out the sea. A mountain climbs as high as it can be. And everything's always reflecting me. And everything's always reflecting me. I cheated, lied, and stole, but nothing left me whole. Just a corrupted soul on a downward roll. I've lived unfaithfully, I've wasted most of me. Now I'm surrendering to what I'm here to be. A flower never fails to make me breathe. A river's always seeking out the sea. A mountain climbs as high as it can be. And everything's always reflecting me. And everything's always reflecting me. A soul session takes a lifetime to reveal. When I wake up to the obvious I feel, I grow lighter when I let it all go. I'm one with all I know. A flower never fails to make me breathe. A river's always seeking out the sea. A mountain climbs as high as it can be. And everything's always reflecting me. A flower never fails to make me breathe. A river's always seeking out the sea. A mountain climbs as high as it can be. And everything's always reflecting me. And everything's always reflecting me. And everything's always reflecting me.
Wow, how delicious was that? Thank you so much, Jamie Lula. What an amazing way to kick off our service today. If this is your first time experiencing the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, we welcome you and thank you for joining us today. We want you to know that no matter who you are or what your spiritual path is, you are always welcome here. And Jesse, you want to put up the new website? So we would like to invite you to visit our newly designed and interactive website at columbiacsl.com. Yay! To learn more about our community replay past services and find articles and other resources. The redesign of the website has basically been in process for the last year, and we're so delighted that we can share with you that we rolled it out about a week ago. So please go and use it often. And please check out the calendar on our website for all the events and opportunities to gather with our community. And now, let us consciously engage in spiritual practice together, which is what we came here to do today. I invite you to settle in and center yourself right now, here in this moment, and find that sacred place within where spirit is all there is. We will have a contemplative reading by the amazing Donald Lewis, and a guided meditation and affirmative prayer from Adalia Romero, coming live with her restored internet from Florida. Donald?
Good morning. The title of our reading today, I Am That I Am, is another of Ernest Holmes' written works with commentary by its curator Jesse Jennings in the October Science of Mind Daily Guides. We begin with a quote from Warren Felt Evans. All the truth that is contained in our intellectual nature, or that our powers can grasp, is a ray from the abyss of light, the infinite circle in which the thoughts of God move. Now, from Ernest Holmes' philosophy, the philosophy of Ernest Holmes, pages 146, 147. What would happen to any person where the divine spark was completely loosed into action? Would it carry with it not only the essence and presence, but the power that is back of everything and the force that is induced? All words will have some power. Some words will have all power. Now the power is already resident. There would be no creation because there is only one of whatever there is. It has to include what you and I call spirit, soul, body, mind, matter, everything. It is not alien to anything. There is no place where God is not. There is no such thing as something that is not yet impregnated with the divine life. This is the meaning of the burning bush. Moses was aware that in nature, Moses was aware of that in nature which speaks. This is beyond illusion. You cannot explain it to anyone because unless they have had it, they don't know what you are talking about, but it is real. Now, Mr. Jennings, here we revisit the theme of oneness. The mystics of the ages have known and taught the all-encompassing one, and by all, they meant not only the lofty and lovely aspects of creation, but everything else as well, in one unbroken whole. Moses in the desert is told, whether by a burning bush or intuitively, that the name or self-reference of spirit is I am that I am. Nothing more is specified about what that I am constitutes. And Moses was probably eager, as we would be, to nail it down to something. This and not a that. But any aspect we exclude from the I amness restricts our experience of the divine spark. We can become hemmed in by our own judgments. Now, please affirm with me. Today, I silently listen to the spirit within and simply let its goodness wash over me. And so it is. Namaste.
Oh, how beautiful. Good morning, my beloved. Let us now get centered as we feel ourselves letting go, being in the moment, the here and now, releasing every muscle in your body, starting with your beautiful face, shoulders, torso, legs, and your toes. Let us feel ourselves releasing and surrendering to that universal spirit that is the all and end all to everything. Now feel the freedom of these words. Be still and know that I am God. Know that there is no place where God is not. That very essence that lives inside of each and every one of us. Everywhere present. Now, take a moment to focus on the word centered. Knowing that which is the focal element of who and what we are. The inside. Imagine ourselves being at that place where Moses was thinking that he and his people were at the end of a situation in which he did not know what would be next. But he reached out to Spirit asking, "Who are you?" And the words inside of his consciousness or intuitional knowing replied, "I am that I am." That Holy Spirit deep inside of each of us. Let's take a moment and reflect on our own lives, where we have been in those moments of not knowing what to do or what's next, where we've asked ourselves, who am I? Who are you? And the answer has always come. Not always in those exact words of, I am that I am, but in the recognition that there is a power deep down in the center of each and every one of us. That essence that lives, that is everywhere present, whose circumference is nowhere, is always inspiring us and guiding us into something newer and greater than we can ever imagine. Reflecting on ourselves. Who are we? We are the divine spark of life that is always speaking to us, always saying, it is this and something greater at work here and right now. always moving forward, always reaching inward and outward, impregnating us with new and creative ideas. Wow, wow, wow. How amazing. Let's take a deep breath now. As we inhale in, let's slowly let it go. As we return to the here and now, and we feel that deep sense of gratitude, as we gently whisper the words to ourselves or out loud. I am that I am. Feel the power and the strength that comes with the acknowledgement of these words as we pray. Knowing that there is only one power and one present, that first cause, that absolute knowing, that which is everywhere present, that oneness, that which surrounds us each and every moment of the day, that which knows that we are a strong and vibrant community, the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, that we come together each and every Sunday to celebrate this, to be reminded that we are whole exactly where we are, that no matter what it sounds like, what it feels like at times, that we are here together in a community that is always vibrant and alive, rejoicing, connecting not only with the inside of our membership, but with the outer community surrounding us, and knowing that we are alive. We are alive, and we live in this wholeness, that we are healthy and vibrant, and we feel this energy in every single thing that we do. So today we are here to be reminded to celebrate that we are strong, and surrounded in the vibration that is always, always here and now, creating new ideas, enhancing that within each and every one of us to come forth and deliver who we are to ourselves, to our individual selves, and to our community. And we are grateful as we just lay these words upon that law, knowing that it is done, that this service is complete, delivered wholly and perfectly through the words and the actions that come forth through every person that is here today, those that are streaming and those that are just together with one another in the space that they are. So we say yes, yes to it all as we surrender ourselves, knowing it is done, and we together just declare this through the words, and so it is. Amen, amen. Namaste.
Wow. Can I get an amen? Woo! Thank you, Donald, and thank you, Adalia, for that beautiful, beautiful time of deep, deep spiritual practice and sharing. In this community, our practitioners and ministers are eager to know the truth with you and for you. Feel free to email your prayer requests or counseling to prayer@columbiacsl.com, and we will hold your truth in prayer together throughout the week. And now, please help me welcome back the incomparable Jamie Lula.
I've done my time, I'm so tired. I give up on my simple mind. It's not working, I'm no good. I'm in need, if I only could find the spirit in the house. I said spirit in the house. Yeah, 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 yeah. A light says stop, I go through. Pull me over, said the man in blue. Son, you know what you done did. I said yes, sir, and a light of red. What's your hurry, why the race? Who you trying to keep faith with? Take your time now, it's alright. God's your answer, you can't hide from the Spirit in the house. Oh yeah. Spirits, Spirit in the house. Well, I'm on fire, how about you? Can't you feel the Spirit God in you? House ain't home, home is where love's alive when you wanna dwell in the Spirit in the house. I said spirits in the house. Can't you feel the Holy Spirit? Yeah, Spirit is your house. Whoa, 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 whoa. Spirit, Spirit in the house. Spirit in the, Spirit in the, Spirit in the, Spirit in the house. Woo! You are the house of Spirit. Peace and blessings, y'all.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Jamie. Yes, Spirit is definitely in the house here this morning with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now, continuing our monthly theme of harvesting our abundance, it is my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Reverend Dr. Nadene Rogers, with her message, Celebrating All That Has Gone Before. Dr. Nadene?
Thank you so much. And Spirit is in the house. It certainly is. Good morning, Columbia CSL, and all of those of you who've come with questions and anticipation, intentions, and perhaps desires to be affirmed. You know, fall is my absolutely favorite season, not only because the colors are so bright, but because everything is releasing, emptying, laying itself bare to be prepared for its time of stillness and eventual renewal. I love to observe how freely leaves leave their host and flowers go to seed as the wind blows. And the animals instinctually forage that last bits of food for sustenance, to hibernate and rest. Another season is gone, leaving us with memories, perhaps the summer of 2022 experiences that will warm us through the winter, and things in nature will change into another form of magnificence as creation continues its process. Nature, it's such a wonderful metaphor for the creative process that moves within us undisturbed by thought or choice. This unlimited spiritual intelligence always moving within itself to create out of itself, in, through, and as us. How spectacular is that? So, as we take this moment together to reflect on all that has gone before, not only in this year, of which I reference, but in our lives as a whole, can we celebrate it all? Knowing that we are never alone and always supplied, we are free to explore, to remember, to shift perception, to deepen our gratitude and release emotions that keep us static, so that we may make the space in mind to be present in the experience of our own natural evolutionary process as the wind blows. We have a common and deep need to express our true nature, don't we? It is our nature expressed as an inner knowing and desire that propels us all to learn to walk on the crooked path to our expression and therefore our experience of the wholeness of our own being. And if we follow that crooked path, we are subjecting our divine spirit to our ego's permission to explore and be free to discover itself. Now, another way to say this is, to me anyway, by embracing our humanity, we get to know the spirit in all, as all, and ultimately develop the capacity to objectify the world, not take it in as a personal limitation, but an impersonal observation. Here we're poised to harness heaven, as it were, readied to co-create our heaven on earth. Harnessing heaven. For me, it's about moving ahead, excuse me, despite appearances, influences, big or small, illness, perhaps, other major changes, despite spiritual rationalizations, bypasses, and even revelations. Boiled down to a simmer, our quest is, to me, to express and therefore experience the nature of God's love as us. Now, I think that I can share, for me, an idea that's brilliant, that brilliantly illustrates this by one of the many lovers of God. This gentleman, Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, was a monk. He a very strict observance. And he was remembered for two things. First of all, he was a doctor of the church, and he had a very special devotion to the Blessed Mother. He wrote many great works, and one of these, De Amore Dei, of the love of God, St. Bernard shows that the manner of loving God is to love God without measure, to love God without measure. And he gives us different degrees of love to illustrate what he means. So in the following, we use the term God to mean our true spiritual nature, the sacred place of the Most High that lives within us, our source presence. So he says the first degree of love is to love ourselves for our own sake. Now, some call this the law of self-preservation, and our preservation is important. It is a priority in our life. The second degree of love is where we love God for our own sake. Now, there have been many moments in our lives where we actually needed God. We get into tight and tough spots, have decisions to make, so we cry to God to help us in our need. The third degree of love is to love God for God's sake. All right, so going back, we said to love ourselves for our own sake. Then to love God for our own sake. And now we're at the third degree of love, to love God for God's sake. Here we recognize in our own lives that when we begin to love God more and more, that we have a visceral feeling connection with all life. And this is where the ego begins to diminish its hold on limited living. And the last and fourth degree of love, we realize that we live within the light of God's love, and we've been created out of love. So we love ourselves for God's sake. We take care of ourselves out of gratitude for all the Creator has and is and always will do. We show our love for God by being conscious of our thought, word, and deed. And loving ourselves in this fourth degree is different from loving ourselves for ourselves. And as we learn to love ourselves for God's sake, we begin to understand that we're enough, and therefore there is enough. Knowing that there is enough and that prosperity is ever coming to us in equal proportion to our ability to be grateful for all that we have now, we are invited to let go of that death grip on the picture of what that material something we see or even imagine looks like as being the answer to our prayers. And we keep open at the top in gratitude for the harvest, stating always this, or something greater. So my exploration today is about celebrating all that has gone before. And when we can bring to our awareness and livingness all the moments that brought us right here to the choice to open and receive God as love, we are positioned in mind and heart to learn to love ourselves for God's sake. Now, this continues to be a process, doesn't it, of release and embrace. Release and embrace as we welcome the allness of who we are in. And as we know, there will be all sorts of experiences on this spiritual path. Positive periods of development, those that are reassuring and comforting, which are an extremely important part of the process. But it's also important to realize that even positive experiences will fluctuate, right? And we will rarely, if ever, perceive a steady development of them, precisely because experiences are fickle by nature, right? They're temporal. Enjoying a series of good experiences does not and never will ensure that they will continue indefinitely. They may stop suddenly. Even so, they remain an important part of spiritual practice, not least because they help us to maintain our motivation to continue practicing. The way in which these positive experiences arise also varies enormously. You know, we may have some amazingly moving experiences, something like a spiritual awakening that appears to arise out of the blue. In fact, such experiences do not really come from nowhere, right? Psychic conditions will always precede them, although they appear to our conscious experience as independent. They can also vanish just as quickly as they appear. And at other times, certain experiences will grow over a period of time. They'll peak, and then they'll gradually fade away again. As spiritual practitioners, we are guided not to attach too much significance to these experiences. The advice is to resist the temptation to become fixated on the experiences themselves, because they will come and go. Each experience has to be let go of, or the mind will simply close down in its fixation on that experience, leaving little or no room for new experiences to arise. This is because our fixation will encourage worries and doubts to arise in the mind and interfere with the developmental process. If there is no fixation involved in the process, positive spiritual experiences will lead us to our spiritual realizations or true soul awakenings. In Buddhism, they distinguish between spiritual experiences and spiritual realizations. Spiritual experiences are usually more vivid and intense than realizations because they are generally accompanied by physiological and psychological changes. Realizations, on the other hand, may be felt, but the experience is less pronounced. Realization is about acquiring insight, wisdom. Therefore, while realizations arise out of our spiritual experiences, they are not identical to them. Spiritual realizations are considered vastly more important because they do not fluctuate. They evolve and build upon themselves. The distinction between spiritual experience and realization is continually emphasized in Buddhist thought, which says if we avoid excessively fixating on our experiences, we will be under less stress in our practice. And without the stress, we will be better able to cope with whatever arises. The possibility of suffering from psychic disturbances will greatly be reduced, meaning this energy, this collective race consciousness that is out and about in the world, right? This average of mentality that usually attracts the limited idea of who and what they are and therefore life is, will be greatly reduced, right, in our energy field. And we will notice a significant shift in the fundamental texture of our experiences. Fixation on our experiences is seen as another variation of fixation on the self, you see? So if we fixate on our experience, we fixate on self, the ego. So letting go of fixation is effectively a process of learning to be free, to be non-attached, to be non-identified with this thing or that thing, or this experience or that experience. Because every time we let go of something, we become free of it. And we can more gently and gracefully observe it, be curious, be in awe, be of wonder for what it is being, right? Without being attached to it or identify ourselves with it. Whatever we fixate upon limits us, because fixation makes us dependent upon something other than ourself. And each time we let go of something, we experience another level of freedom. Yeah. Eventually, in order to be totally free, so that we can celebrate all that has gone before and all that is happening right now, as everything in the sacred cycle and circle of God, as all there is, we learn to let go of concepts, right? Ultimately, we do need to relinquish our fixation on the idea of concepts, of things being this or that. Because thinking of this binds us to a particular way of experiencing everything, because it keeps our perception static. And even spiritual experiences will not be given complete. The final step in the process of letting go, my friends, is relinquishing the idea that material conditions, corruption, and spiritual freedom are unequivocally opposed to one another, and that we have to give up the former to attain the latter. We cannot shut down how we perceive something, how we feel about something. We cannot close it off and expect to be open to embrace the awakening of spiritual realization. So while it is an important distinction to observe at the beginning of the spiritual journey, we have to overcome that duality. We have to transcend both the seduction of that pleasure that turns out to be so illusory, and the seduction of our spiritual goal that appears to be offering eternal happiness. I am going to say that again. We have to overcome duality. We have to transcend both the seduction of pleasure that turns out to be so illusory or temporal, and the seduction of our spiritual goal that appears to be offering eternal happiness. So once the pole between these two poles is harmonized and transcended, we are ready to return home, meaning return home to the truth of who we are, which is all that we are. All that we are, all that we have ever been, all that we will ever be, all that we are becoming as the point of consciousness in the choice in this present moment. So along with releasing of the past, or better said, the hold we give the past over us, celebrating all that has gone before becomes a sacred complement to the power of being one with the source presence and its creative infinite intelligence that we can use, right, to co-create our desired reality. So together, the acceptance of what has gone before and the releasing of any limiting thoughts we have affirmed as our truth within that past are not complete without the inspiration and the joy and the embodiment of the gifts, of their gifts that has brought us to this moment now. As I said, the place where the creative intelligence is to be accessed and directed as co-creators of our reality to bring about this beautiful heaven on earth, allowing our minds, feelings, and bodies to make space for energetically all the pieces of pain to be released from the thoughts that have held them stuck. Celebrating all that has gone before allows us the time and space to pause and fall into gratitude for ourselves and awaken us to the power of the moment now, where we can experience feeling alive. Receive the abundance of life through the intentions of having no intention of what abundance or love or peace or joy or truth needs to look like, but by being present in the receptive feeling of the wonder and awe of the Creator's palette. Because really, when we do give ourselves the gift of just being without intention, doesn't just everything seem really good? Really full of possibility? So let's let go of these things like, until I'm healed, until I'm successful, until I do this or that or become this or that, I cannot create this idea of heaven, earth. Bollocks. I don't know what generation that word came from, but it just came to me. Well, have you ever experienced, stop and think, an unexpected flash when you viscerally felt and exclaimed, wow, look how far I've come. Look how I have grown, matured towards the person I remember aspiring to become. And followed that with the thought, yeah, I am so busy planning forward. I never really stop to celebrate and honor the journey I have created and the person I have become. Now, here's a question for all of you. Could you imagine celebrating all that has gone before without defense, judgment, or regret, becoming your go-to elixir? Could you imagine honoring yourself for the decisions, each and every one that you made, those you remember, those you don't, as the best decisions you knew how to make in the moment, which walked you to the very place you now stand as the balm that brings you home to yourself? Everything, every person we touch, every idea, every word we shape and express carries the corresponding energy of our self-identity. So who we identify ourselves as being becomes more preciously relevant than why we identify ourselves, and keeps our mind stayed on our inherent true nature as divinely human. I love these words author Mark Nepo wrote. He said, "It is said that souls intent on living will reach deep into their wound and bring out the fire living there, which out in the open turns to light. It is said that those intent on making things better will reach deep into their minds and bring out the fire there, which out in the open turns to truth. It is said that those who love, like rain, soothe every fire." We walk the spiritual path to discover the love we are by expressing the love we are. We walk the spiritual path to discover the love we are by expressing the love we are. And what I know to be helpful is to be mindful of the ebb and flow of this love as given and received, in all its joyously received attempts and its rebuffs. We can cultivate this mindfulness as we continue to choose living with compassion, heart, intention, and by ensuring that all our thoughts have safe passage, meaning that all our thoughts can be held, questioned, explored, expressed, accepted, and released or adopted in divine right timing for us. It is here we welcome change. It is here we welcome endings and new beginnings, the mystery, and have faith in the law of mind and action, which is always and forever making it so. We can mindfully celebrate and honor all that has gone before through accepting it, feeling it, being grateful for it, and through the practice of bringing conscious completion to what still has, consciously or unconsciously, power over us, disabling our natural evolution to be revealed and expressed. You know, whether it's a first love that we can't forget, which warms our soul, but that we constantly measure others up against, or whether it's a career move that we regret. If we apply this idea of conscious completion, we can build upon it, awakening into loving self for God's sake. Taking time for conscious completion is one of the many ways we create the world around us. For instance, a completion of a conversation celebrates what was good, right? What was good. It favors resolution and peace without skipping over what may have been difficult. And where resolution is yet unfinished, it provides room for acknowledgement of that as well. The emphasis of the process is on appreciation and on loving attention to our whole experience. So as I come to a close with you today, I'm going to offer you now a chance to practice conscious completion with me. You may use this process with a certain individual, an individual that lives within your home, your business, your spiritual community, your mind. It may even be a relationship with a past or a present spiritual leader in your community. Then again, you may wish to address God, the God of your understanding, or yourself. So if you can just take a couple of deep breaths and feel yourself becoming calmer and still. Feel your breath, the breath of God, which is always breathing us as we breathe as God, as one in God. Just moving through our beingness, our mind, our body, every cell. Just opening us. I'm going to now share 6 sentences for you to complete. So as you feel yourself becoming calmer and more still, bring that person to mind. And complete this first sentence. I miss. And the second sentence. I learned. And the third sentence. I appreciate. And the fourth sentence. I feel. And the fifth sentence, I accept. And lastly, going forward, my intention is. I'm going to just repeat them because this is an exercise you can always do to find conscious completion when you're feeling stuck in any emotion or idea, around something that you identify as important in your life. I miss, I learned, I appreciate, I feel, I accept, and going forward, my intention is. So may we celebrate all that has gone before and come to know the graceful ways of Spirit. May we consciously acknowledge the completion of all our relations, whether they even be those we have turned away from, or may they be those sacred relationships that we have called into our lives, each and every one of them, to remind us and inspire us, no matter how they've turned out or how they feel, to live from our source presence. Everything, if we allow it and honor it and celebrate it, brings us back to ourselves. And may we intentionally bless our relationship with self, with each other, and with our fellow community members, as we live open at the top, knowing that we are never alone, because divine love, that love of God, is always with us and within us, creating safe passage for our mind, for our body and our soul, with which to bless and to be blessed. And may we always remember to love ourselves for God's sake, for we are birthed to be the hands, the heart, and the voice of Spirit on earth. We are a blessing to this world. We are the hands, we are the heart, we are the voice of Spirit on earth, and all we are and all we have is a blessing to this world. And so it is.
And so it is. Jesse, can you put up our slide? And so we just want to take a moment here to thank you, Dr. Nadene, for walking with us these last 22 months. What an amazing gift and blessing you have been for us, and continue to will be as we continue to go forward in our next iteration. We love you very much. Thank you. Please join us next week as we come together in person at the Hawthorne Center with Eugene Holden, speaking on "The Divine in Me is My Lavish, Unfailing Abundance." I'm going to read that one again. "The divine in me is my lavish, unfailing abundance." Wow. Come join us in person at the Hawthorne Center. And our guest musician next week is going to be our very own Jamie Hudson Craig. And if you can't be with us in person, as always, you can join us on the live stream through Twitch TV, YouTube, or here on Facebook. And now it's my pleasure to once again bring back the amazing Jamie Lula.
Peace and blessings, y'all. My name is Jamie Lula. For those of you that don't know me, this is a brand new song. Just wrote it on my new guitar. It's called "What If You Knew." What if it's true, you had everything you need? What if it's true, you can live your wildest dreams? Will you run and hide or go along for the ride? Toss the current and tide of the ocean of possibilities. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining is you? What if you knew? What if you knew that the infinite's thriving in you? What if it's true that there's never need for shame? What if it's true, joy and lessons in the pain? Will you run and hide or go along for the ride? Trust the current and tide of the ocean of possibilities. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining is you? What if you knew? What if you knew that the infinite's thriving in you? Shadow and light, yin and the yang are all part of you. The past is the past, we've all made mistakes. It isn't your truth. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining's in you? What if you knew? What if you knew that the infinite's thriving in you? What if you knew? What if you knew that your soul's so much larger than you? What if you knew? What if you knew your design is divine? Yes, it's true. What if you knew? What if you
Peace out, Jamie. That was awesome. What a fabulous song to follow that amazing talk that we just had. We so appreciate your gifts, Jamie, and be sure to check out Jamie's website at jamielula.com or on YouTube for more soulful music. And don't forget to catch him at the end of the month this month as a part of our fabulous Feed the Hungry concert. And now it is time for our conscious giving, an opportunity to participate in the amazing law of circulation. We know that we have to receive as well as to give, so we invite you to let your divine inner wisdom choose the blessing of joy that's on the screen, one that calls to you. And whether it's on the screen or just something that comes from your higher self, keep it with you all week long and remember how much you are loved. Wonderful, wonderful. And now we can complete the law of circulation by giving back. I invite you to invoke feelings of love and gratitude and abundance, allowing them to fill you and the space around you. And now let us use the power of our word by speaking our prosperity affirmation together. I know that the infinite abundance of the universe blesses and multiplies this offering and all offerings, and so it is. We offer easy ways for you to donate your tithing. You can make a one-time or recurring donation through our website, our new website at www.columbiacsl.com, or you can text your donation to us at 410-498-6175, or for those of you prefer, you may drop it off at the office, or you could put it in the mail to us. We receive and appreciate your gifts and tithes so much. Thank you for supporting us so that we remain a vital and thriving and nourishing center for all of our collective spiritual enjoyment and nourishment. And we know that as we give with gratitude, we receive with great gratitude. And would you please now join me as we bless and receive every gift bestowed upon our dear Columbia CSL. Together, we receive these gifts, knowing that they nurture and support our vision of contributing to a world that works for everyone. And so it is. I don't think. On behalf of our entire community, we thank you for being part of our spiritual family today, and we look forward to seeing you again next week in person. At the end of service today, please check out our announcement slides and our website calendar at columbiacsl.com/events to make sure that you know everything that's going on in our community. But most importantly, I'm going to hit the highlights. Get your tickets. Our virtual fall concert, as I have referred to many times this morning, is going to be on October the 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With every purchase, your name is entered to win a $100 Visa card. Check out the amazing auction items available for bid at the live event. And again, that's Friday, October the 28th from 7 to 9 p.m. And Dr. Nadene and I will be emceeing that event, so you won't want to miss that. That's going to be pretty fun. And then remember also next week that our official send-off for Dr. Nadene will be directly after service on the 30th. She will facilitate a conscious completion ceremony and a gratitude circle. And today, please join Dr. Nadene to take a deeper dive into today's amazing scrumptious talk right after service. You can find a link on our website calendar under today's date. And now it is my pleasure to bring back once again Dr. Nadene to close our service with a benediction. That's what I was waiting.
All of us are different, but yet we're all the same. It's how you love yourself each day that makes the world okay.
There is only one life. This life is God's life. This life is your life. And this life is my life now. Remember, you are the hands. You are the heart. Yeah. And you are the blessing of spirit on earth. Thank you, everybody. Go out and share the blessing that is you. Amen. Peace out.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. 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 In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. look at the person next to you and say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you and say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. I feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together,